Let's explain the two touchbacks that went to the 20. How does that happen?
Yeah, I mean, I would say credit to Santos. I mean, there's wind in the game, obviously, and when the ball's low like that, you know, yeah, yeah, I would. The one that it was more of like a line drive, didn't hit the ground. I think it just kind of rose up on him a little bit. So
What makes this Bills kickoff return unit so difficult? Look like they had a big impact on that game last week.
yeah, those guys do a really good job. Taves has done a nice job with that unit. Obviously familiar with him. Was my coach here for 2 years. The returner is really good. I think he's got good vision. He's got good contact balance. He does an excellent job of attacking coverage downhill. Like I just said, good vision, and they got a good core unit. They got Andreessen, Williams, Franklin. Those guys are really good blockers, and have done a nice job for that group.
We've talked, I mean, since this new rule's come in about running backs, being effective in that.
Yeah.
Returning, and, Ray Davis is, obviously running back. Are you I mean, as you look across the league, has that sort of borne out that the best return guys have been running backs, and what do you feel like?
Yeah, I think you're definitely seeing some of that for sure. Guys with vision I feel like are the guys that have been most effective on that unit throughout the league. So it plays similar to a run play, honestly, with some of the schematics that are happening.
We've been asking about kick coverage all
Yeah.
year. It's probably the issue you just have so many young, unproven guys on that unit. You're kind of forced to use those players.
I mean, we're playing with the best guys available, but I do think that it comes down to when you're covering punts, kickoffs, it really does come down to like the fundamentals of the game, leveraging blocks, block destruction, shedding blocks, tackling, all those things factor. And I feel like the times where we've had issues is when we're not executing those necessary fundamentals of the game. We're not leveraging the ball well enough. Specifically, like the last 2 weeks, like on our kick side, we haven't done a great job of playing outside into the football. It's pretty basic principles that we haven't executed that well.
And you were such a great special teams player.
Thanks.
but seriously, so how frustrating is that? Because I'm sure these guys know what to do.
Like what we're coaching
Yeah.
them to do. Yeah, I mean, it ultimately comes down to just the execution. Like you got to be able to execute when the bullets are flying. Yeah, I mean, look, it can be frustrating as a player and as a coach whenever you're not getting the results you want, but we just gotta keep working and keep trying to improve and getting better at those things. I mean, and back to your point, yeah, we've had a good amount of younger players out there that haven't had as much experience. So, there's times where we've had to learn the hard way. So.
Grant always talks about how special teams is a lot of want to. Do you feel like there's enough want to on the unit?
Yeah, I think that there's want to. I do. I think that there's want to. I think that our guys have, and I'll say this: we haven't played nearly to our standard. I mean, that's clearly obvious. But I do think that the guys are trying. I do think that they're trying.
One of those fundamentals that you talked about that you think is hampering this team the most on the team unit?
I would honestly probably say like just like the two that I mentioned, just leveraging the ball and getting off of blocks. So I think we need to be able to shed more violently, to be able to get off of blocks. That happened in the Tennessee game. It happened last week. And then playing outside into the ball, not taking the easiest release. Taves used to actually say, don't take the river release, the release of least resistance. We're trying to coach that. So
You've given Belichick a lot of credit. You played for him and
Yeah.
coached for him, but where does Tabor rank in the special teams community?
it was me and Tabes had a good run at it here for 2 years. That was his first year as a coordinator in 11, and then in 12, obviously his second season. But we had a really good relationship. We don't talk as often now, obviously, but we had a really good relationship. He trusted me quite a bit. I gave him a lot of input to what we did back then with calls and schemes and things like that, and I think he respected me for that. I think he's a really good football coach. Does a nice job in the return game, obviously. So
He had Cribbs those 2 years, and then Travis Benjamin, who ended up
yeah,
being pretty good too. Are some special teams coaches noted for a certain part of special teams? Like, this guy's always had good returners. This guy's always had blockers. Or
yeah. Well, so he was an assistant in Chicago before he came to us. So he was with Dave Tobe, who's in Kansas City. Tobe's obviously been known for his return game. Obviously, he had Hester in Chicago. He's had a number of really good returners in Kansas City. So I guess you could say that, he's kind of from that, like, Tobe tree.
That Andre hit on Sunday, considering how cold it was.
Yeah.
How hard of a kick is that? And then just also, too, considering, what happened in week one, just, what have you seen from him, throughout the season, how he's bounced back from that?
Yeah, I mean, we were kind of like nearly at our max as far as like distance that we were able to hit from. So, really, I mean, credit him for the execution on the kick. Obviously, we get the hold down well, we protect, and just really good execution on the play. And in really cold temperatures, the ball definitely was not flying like it had been in previous weeks. And then for him to just be able to, bounce back after that first game, kind of like reset. He has had really good practice weeks. I feel like he has done a good job, throughout the season.
Back to the touchbacks real quick. Is that basically like how you coach that then? Like if it's a line drive type kick that's going to maybe be sort of harder to handle, are you just telling guys, let it go into the end zone, we'll take it at the 20?
No, not necessarily. I mean, we want to try to field every single ball possible. I will say that there are times where if the ball doesn't say the ball does hit the ground and you don't field it clean and it does end up rolling into the end zone, don't make a bad play worse, because then you can still get the touchback at the 20. But ideally, we want to field every ball if possible, and then obviously return it. It does affect the return when the ball gets to the ground. It's just less. There's more time that you have to sustain a block. There's more space for the coverage player to be able to run around. So the timing of the return doesn't really match up if the ball is on the ground and you don't get it clean. Now, if it hits the ground and you get it on like one hop, that's just less time that it's taking for the return. So, that everything impacts it. Now, the other thing that hurts too is like when the ball does hit the ground as a blocker, you don't really know how long the ball's on the ground for because you're not watching the returner like pick the ball up. So as you go back, as you're like seeing the returner, okay, the ball's on the ground, my eyes go back to my guy. Does he field it clean? Does he not? So there's some like gray area there as a blocker. You don't know how long. So we give our guys some things that they use in their technique. So